7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
From Cafeteria Film Studios in Little Havana, Phresh presents Que Hola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers who are popping off and succeeding in the 305 and at the same time influencing the culture. I'm your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Yo, what's good? It's your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Ya tú sabes, metiendo mi gimbín with another episode of Que Hola. This episode, we bring into you a local blogger, somebody who is known in the beauty world, also who is known in the life world. What's the life world? Just regular life, motherfucker. Angie Armada. Angie Armada has a blog called Sweet Serena, focusing on beauty, but it's expanded into other realms. This was a really dope talk. I mean, she's local AF. She's Miami AF. Ya tu sabes, I only bring on the local creatives who are popping and doing their thing in Miami. And we spoke about a lot of things, you know, about how people are throwing shade in the beauty world. We spoke about the homeless guilt gauntlet that you have to go through in order to get to the Wharf. It's just one part of Miami's very weird micro schisms that's like, what the fuck? And a lot of other things. So yeah, I don't want to even take up more time. Thank you so much, Angie. Check this episode out. It's popping. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Listo. All right, so we are in another episode of Que Hola. This is actually the second episode of Que Hola of the season 2. Thank you so much for being on the show. Angie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let the people know how you feeling.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know. I've never done a podcast with someone that I've just met.
You've podcasted before?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Oh, with Mario Ramil?
Okay, but you've never done like impromptu?
No.
So when you podcasted before, how did you guys do it? I'm interested in.
Well, we talked about like what we were going to talk about first.
Yeah.
And then like we picked a topic and then we sat down and we just talked about it. And it was something that all three of us had in common.
Well, basically this is the same thing except the topic is you.
Okay.
So it's basically we're going to talk about you and more or less.
Well, I know that.
Okay,
I know about that. So we're
how you came to be. So I came to find you through IG with your blog. Mm-hmm. Once you've already once you established a foothold here in South Florida with your blog and whatnot. But I would like to know a little bit about your backstory. How did you start off with the blog? Did you study journalism, things along that nature?
No, writing is something that I've always loved to do. I've kept a journal or a diary since I could write.
Okay.
I actually have like a box with like years, like year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, from elementary school all the way up through college. And
what? Hold up. So you have boxes of shit from
my journals. Yeah.
You have journals from elementary school?
Yeah.
Or like starting what grade?
Like maybe like 4th or 5th grade.
Did you go to elementary school here in Miami?
Jack D. Gordon
Elementary.
And Gilbert Porter.
Exactly where that's at.
And Gilbert Porter from kindergarten through 3rd grade. And then Jack Gordon opened up and I lived in Country Walk.
That's
and
Country Walk, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to walk to school with my mom.
Holy shit. So since then you've been keeping track of your writing?
Journals and short stories and poetry and things like that. I just love writing. I love words.
Do you go back and like, do you get influence
They're
from
hilarious.
Do you read them?
I have.
Okay.
Not regularly, but teenage Angie, she was angsty.
Angsty?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, my life sucks. It did not, like, at all.
I mean, first world problems, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like, oh my God, I didn't get the brand new car that I wanted type of shit. Like, meanwhile, my cousin is like, you know, drinking some shitty ass water out some creek somewhere in Colombia. And I'm out here bugging about my car and shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Damn. So tell me more. So then you went to high school, I'm assuming here in Miami.
I went to Miami Sunset.
All right.
Home of the Knights.
And you went...
It's a night thing.
Once you finished high school, you decided to go for journalism?
No, actually, when I finished high school, I did like 1 year here at Miami-Dade, and then I moved to California.
Okay.
And I was there for about 2 years. I went to this little like Miami-Dade equivalent that was called College of the Desert because I lived in Palm Springs.
Okay.
Yeah. And I studied early childhood education. And I thought about majoring in English, but like you, I started making money, and then I never went
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, that's what it's at. I mean, I don't knock anybody who's making money. I don't say college is for everybody. Even though I went through all college
Yeah.
and I didn't graduate by like one semester, I still say that college isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's funny because I still worked with children.
yeah.
For a long time, I worked in a few private schools down in Palmetto Bay. I'm not going to say which because they might be listening.
Okay. Are they like Voldemort or something? They're going to send the
Maybe.
spirits towards you?
You never know.
Palmetto Bay? Shit,
It's
I
like
know
a
those
bunch
people.
of rich people.
I know where that's at.
I know, you ride your bike down there every now and then.
Not only that, but
right?
I used to work for Pinecrest.
Yeah.
So I know that area very well.
Yeah.
I know the residents of that area. Shout out to people out there. Holler at your boy when you see me in the street. Throw some money at me.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
They just have it floating around.
If you're mad at me, just like crumble up 100 and shoot it
and
at my
throw
face.
it at me, yeah. I'll catch it.
I'll let you shoot $100 bills at my face. What's up with that, bro? Holler at your boy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then you decided to
So I moved back to Miami after being there for about 2 years. So I came back in like, I don't know, late 2006, early 07. And I always was into makeup,
Okay.
beauty and all that. And after a couple years, I would write here and there, still journaling. And then when I met my husband, he's a graphic designer. He set me up with a logo and was like, why aren't you doing this like
full time
on a bigger scale? Yeah. So he set up my website and all that, and then I just started beauty blogging. And then over time, it just kind of morphed as I grew. My blog grew, and not only am I talking about beauty now, but I'm talking about parenthood and mental health. After giving birth, you know, so many women suffer from postpartum and postpartum anxiety, not just depression. And I don't think enough people talk about it. So especially in our culture, I don't think that enough people talk about it, or I don't know, there's like a stigma, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to kind of break that. Like it's okay to not be okay, you know? So I like to talk about that a lot on my blog. And, you know, I started working with Acumi Miami, and which, if you don't know, that's just a local group of creatives. And now I'm working on my blog full time. I have my son at home, and that's what I do.
That's awesome. So when you decided to go about starting the blog, what made you decide that you want to go through the beauty avenue first?
Well, you know, like we would be getting ready when I was single.
Okay.
Looking over at my husband.
Huge
like,
asterisk.
When I was single, and we were getting ready to go out every night because we were. I mean,
Miami
it's a
style.
little embarrassing, but yeah.
Yeah, just going out Miami style.
We were going out every night. I want to say like 5-6 nights out of the week we were going out.
Definitely.
And the girls would just line up at my door for me to do their makeup.
What do you mean?
And
Like you were known as a makeup queen?
I was the makeup girl. Yeah, I was the one that would do your makeup before you went out on the town.
Wow.
And so I was doing everybody's makeup before we went out, and
This was
I just
before
started
IG.
writing about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
back
was
in the day,
before
right?
IG was a
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so then I would just, you know, I don't just love makeup like to play with it. I'm interested in like formulas and like textures, and it's kind of an art form for me. So.
Okay, so then that's why you decided on going that avenue. And when you decided to like spring out in other avenues outside of the makeup, did you have like an influence, or was it just something that just came from within?
I had my son, and well, first I got married, and then I had my son, and life completely turned upside down. And makeup is still a creative outlet for me. It's not my main interest anymore. No, yeah. My son is very much like a direct, I don't know, like if you morphed me and my husband together, it's my son. And my son, he's so interesting and curious and fun, and you know, everything that comes with him is just something to write about.
That's cool. So your child was actually the one who decided that made you decide to go in another direction with it.
Yeah.
Do you have any outside influences in journaling and blogging that you saw that like helped you decide, okay, this is where I'm gonna go?
You know, no, not in the aspect of like writing, but my family is always a huge inspiration to me. My parents, their story. My parents are divorced now, although sometimes you might not know it when they're together.
Okay.
But,
shout to your parents. You just put them on Maury.
They grew up together in New York. My grandma on my mom's side took care of my dad when he was a kid.
All right.
And my mom was, previously married. My dad went to the Marine Corps. Somehow they found each other in Japan.
Wow.
Okinawa. They ended up, running away together 9 months later. Hi, how are you?
Okay. So you're the product.
And yeah, and then, we grew up kind of hopping around because my dad was in the Marine Corps. So we did New York, North Carolina, Virginia, Puerto Rico for a little while, California, and then...
Okay, so I wanted to talk about that because we kind of like touched on this before when we had spoken. You told me you're Puerto Rican, but you like traveled everywhere. Being that you have like the Puerto Rican essence in you through your family, through like the way that you were brought up, how did you feel that you were like accepted in other regions? Like you said, like North Carolina and all of that, being like the brown Puerto Rican girl.
When North Carolina and all those different cities, when we lived in them, I was really little.
Oh, okay.
I was like a baby. I moved here to Miami when I was like 6.
All right.
But I have lived in places like Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia, which is like the sticks.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely the sticks because I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's like 45 minutes north of Jacksonville.
45 minutes north of Jackson. Oh, so that's definitely the sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jacksonville's the sticks almost.
Yeah. And then in California, everybody's Mexican.
Yeah.
And I, like, no matter how often you tell people, like, I'm Puerto Rican, they're like, oh, how exotic. She's still a beaner,
Yeah.
Like,
You're still
it
Puerto
was,
Rican.
yeah, it was, and in Georgia, I definitely got a few looks. We went to a Mexican restaurant once, and it was hilarious because I was the darkest person there.
In the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, and as soon as I walked in, it was like everybody went whoosh, and I was just
I've had
like,
that experience a lot.
hi.
I mean, that's the thing about Miami, right? Miami is such a microcosm that you like you're immune to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just grow up like not feeling that way.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody here is different.
Yeah.
So even if you're white, you're not like genuinely white. Like
No, you could be Cuban.
I say even the white people in Miami aren't white.
Yeah.
Because like real Caucasian people in Miami, they still have a different flavor from the white people that I've met outside of Miami.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? They're like shot out. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely on some next level shit. So
For sure.
even white people in Miami is different, but we all accept each other because we grow up in this like microcosm,
It's
this like
melting pot.
this melting pot.
Yeah.
When you go outside of Miami, you quickly
It's when you realize that you're different.
how crazy it is, and that's why like I always steer back to like trying to create a creative scene and coalesce things here.
Yeah.
How have you felt the creative scene has been in accepting you and what you're doing throughout South Florida?
I actually feel like I've gotten so much support
Okay.
and so many good vibes sent my way and so much encouragement from especially small businesses here in Miami. I did a media dine with Akumi at Sandwich in Miami, and just now we went back for the first time since that media dine, and they were just so welcoming and so like, hi, how are you, and meeting other influencers, especially in the blogger community, because in the beauty community, I don't feel like it's as supportive as it is in like the
You
mom
think it's
blogger.
more catty?
It is, yeah, definitely. Like
How do you get shade in the blogger
I'm a
community?
t-shirt and jeans and Converse sneakers kind of girl.
Yeah.
I could have a full face of makeup
Yeah.
on and I'm still wearing my Chucks with
Okay.
my ripped jeans, and that's just me, who I am.
So you got shade for that.
Oh yeah, like if you're not wearing like, Prada. One time we went to a restaurant in Wynwood on a media dine, and there was a beauty blogger there, and I was like, I said hi or whatever, and she was like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I have a blog and I focus on beauty and motherhood, and she was like, beauty? And I was like, well, damn, like, what are you trying to say? Okay. And you look at her, and she's got like these beautiful high heels on and this like sexy suit, and I'm like, that's just not my bag. I'm chasing a 4-year-old, like.
Well, that's the
good
thing.
as
Like
it's gonna
everybody,
get.
it's all perspective, right?
Yeah.
What do you consider beauty? You know what I'm saying? One
Exactly.
person consider something beauty. Maybe another person is just like fashion accessories is where
Yeah.
the beauty's at. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, it's all up to perspective. So, but you have dealt with
But
some
I
shade.
I have dealt with some shade and some competition. But I personally am a very like I shared something today that it caught my eye. And it was like community over competition, and I would much rather be your friend and collab than throw shade.
Yeah. Well, I asked you that
You
because
can sit with us.
that's the thing. Like Miami's is known as a very cliquey city.
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah,
cliquey.
yeah.
I was born and raised in the city.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know exactly how that works. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if you part of the clique, all the doors open for you. You're not part of the clique, they looking at you sideways.
And
like,
you know,
what's wrong with
even
this
like
dude?
after high school, like
you mean
I'm
after
34
high
years
school?
old, and I still am dealing with some like
What do you mean? I've
catty
seen
bitches
people
from high
like
school, and I'm like,
I've seen
haven't
old
seen you
ass
in 10
people do
years.
this.
I don't understand it.
I'm not
I don't
talking about
get
like
it.
I'm talking about like 60-year-olds
I
still
don't
in their clique
understand
life.
it. I don't get it.
I mean, that's how it is. I mean, over here, if you're not part of like the crew, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The cool kids or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck, you
Yeah.
know, you're just not gonna get any love. I mean, I like breaking those barriers. I'm one of those kids who like I was in all the cliques when I was
Same.
like going to high school.
Yeah.
You know, in high school, I was in college. I was part of all the cliques. I would go hang out with the goths. I'd go hang out with the rappers. I'd go hang
Yeah.
out with the football players
The
and
skaters,
the skaters
the
and
bang
everybody.
geeks.
Everybody was like
Yeah.
cool with me, you know, because I was like Switzerland, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like since I'm a social butterfly, that was easily accessible for me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who don't have those skills
Same.
that don't know how to break down barriers and they're like stay stuck in their like little islands, you know, secluded as fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like next thing that I want to speak to you about was your actual blog. Like what made you go into the avenue of blogging in general? Because you generally started off with the beauty, right? What made you say, okay, I want to go back to writing? Why didn't you go like I want to be creative through photography, or I want to be creative through podcasting?
I
or
just love words. I really do enjoy the podcasting, by the way. But
okay, so you enjoy podcasting.
I really do. But I love words. I love to read. I've always been a bookworm. When I was a kid, my dad would take me to Barnes and Noble, and that was like my, you know, like you'd find me in the corner with like a stack of books, and I'd just be, you know, reading series in days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love words. I love stringing them together in a way that sounds beautiful, that looks beautiful. I like typography. I like anything that has to do with words. Really.
And the words, so how'd you come up with the words for your blog? How'd you come up with the title for your blog?
Well, Sweet Serena, right now we're going through a little bit of a rebranding.
Okay.
I'm looking at my graphic designer right now.
Sweet Sirena's going through
It's going through a growth spurt,
Okay.
you know? Sweet Sirena, I have always loved mermaids. Mermaids are beautiful, and mermaids are also very unassuming, you know?
Okay.
You think they're beautiful, and then they, like, eat you,
All right.
which is awesome.
They eat you? What
That's
do you
what they used to do to sailors, right? They would entice them with their beauty and their song, and then they would get close, and then...
I did not know
Catch you,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
just thought mermaids. I thought they would drown you, but I didn't know that they were cannibals. Like
I
they
don't know.
cannibalize you.
It's something like that.
I don't know if
They've
it would
got
be considered
claws.
cannibalism because
Exactly,
are they like
because they're
humans?
not human.
Half
Completely.
human, half fish.
Kind
What
of.
is a mermaid? Whatever. It's
They're
just mythical as
pescatarian.
fuck.
I don't know.
We're talking about it like it has anatomy and shit. Like
Exactly. I don't know.
What was the last time you saw the dissection of a mermaid?
Yeah, like if they're real.
So Sweet Serena's going through a change.
Yeah, now I'm just I will soon just be Angie Armada.
Okay, so you're gonna switch it up. It's just gonna be Angie Armada.
Angie Armada. So it's just
Okay.
all encompassing, just me.
Okay,
It's just me.
that's dope. And
Yeah.
and the website,
Yeah.
love it. By the way, it's awesome.
Thank you.
Where do you get inspiration to put things on there? Like different visuals and things like that.
I love the honestly, my graphic designer does most of my web stuff.
Oh, okay.
He just tells me what colors do you like? Do you like this? Do you like that? And I okay things.
All right.
My focus is the actual posts.
All right.
You
All
know.
right. more or less, how long does it take you to come up with each one of those?
Depending on what it is, like beauty ones usually take me a little bit longer than personal ones. Personal ones, I can just sit and like, just knock it out.
Okay.
And then the beauty ones, I'm making sure I'm fact checking and making sure I get the formula right and making sure I'm getting like the prices right and stuff like that, know. But the last personal one I did about growing up in our culture, I think it took me about an hour.
Okay.
Maybe. And I choose what's important to me at the moment. That's what I think the beauty of my own personal blog is, that I can write whatever I want, whenever I want. So if a palette comes out that I'm like, oh my God, this palette is beautiful, everyone needs to know about it, I'll write about it. And if I have an amazing conversation with my mom, then I'll write about it,
What makes you stay away from the negative stuff, writing? Because in your writing, you talk about negative stuff, but not like, you're not shading negative stuff. You just see what you went through, you're trying to express it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they go into negative, they really dwell in that space.
Well, I mean, for me, anything negative that has ever happened to me in life has been a tremendous like stepping stone to where I am now. And not that I'm grateful for like deaths in the family or divorce or anything like that, but it made me grow up. You know what I mean? It had a hand in how I feel about certain things, and I don't know. It's a part of me. And so I don't want to look at anything a part of me as negative.
So it's basically on your perspective.
Yeah.
Even the
totally.
negative stuff, you're already looking at it from the sunshine look.
Totally. Some people can, and that's funny, that was my nickname in high school.
Sunshine?
Yeah. Some people could say like, oh, my parents are divorced, and it's just the most horrible thing. And no, they're so much happier without each other. Like, no, I'd rather them be happy with me, you know what I mean, than at each other's throats, and they get along. They get along now, That's
kind of why I really like your blog, because, like, sometimes I read other people's blog, and it's just really
depressing
and negative, and it's like, and you
what
feel
good
bad
does that
for that
do
person.
For you?
You feel like, man, I wish I could help this person out, but, like, I gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go do some other shit.
If I can help someone look at something like their depression or anxiety in a different way,
like
then
the mental health.
Then I've done my job,
Yeah, that's dope. So if you were to start it all over, right? What would you give an advice to previous Angie prior to like setting off in this path?
As far as my blogging goes, I'll just do it. Just do it. Just jump in and do it.
How long was that rattling around in your skull?
A couple years, I want to say. And and in the beginning it was like, are people going to think I sound stupid? Are people going to like this? Are they not going to like it? Is anybody going to read it? And then I started seeing like the numbers trickling in of people reading it and where they're from. People all over the world read this blog, and it is so mind-boggling to me, And I got to the point where I didn't really care about what other people thought anymore. And I want to say that happened after I had my son. Like I stopped giving a shit.
So you think your son is the one who gave you the confidence?
Oh yeah.
To go ahead.
Totally.
So I mean, I've talked to a lot of people who have gone on those adventures and have taken those journeys, and I always like want to know more or less how long it took them to actually like take the leap.
Yeah.
Because like for myself, it took me a while to actually say, I'm gonna step away from what I was doing.
I didn't stop working until about a year and a half ago. 2 years now, maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
That I stopped working for the man.
Yeah.
And started just doing my blog and social media full time.
That's what's up.
I loved it. It blew up when I quit.
If you were gonna give advice to somebody who is starting new in blogging, what would you tell them, and which way would you tell them to go?
I mean, obviously, make sure your bills get paid.
No, not necessarily like give up your life to go blog,
but just, what do you mean, like?
What would you say? Don't go in this avenue. Don't write about this. Write about that. Try to do these things.
Just to keep it positive and to help other people.
Help other people.
Yeah, help other people. I'm starting a new project right now called Small Seeds. Small seeds grow big trees.
Okay.
And I want to help the needy in Miami.
Okay.
Not just homeless people, but single moms, kids who need school supplies, like, I just met the owner of the Sheridan House up in Broward.
Okay.
In Davie, I think.
All right.
And I want to go over there and check out the facility and see how I can volunteer. And I just feel like people need to start helping each other more. You know what I mean?
Do you feel that you owe your success to that approach?
Oh, to the like spreading kindness kind of? Yeah.
That
maybe.
like that's why people have come from far and wide.
I think that's why I get
read.
support,
Yeah.
because I'm not mean. Or like, I don't think I'm your average like Miami girl that's like catty and like, always, I have my hand up like a cat right now because that's how I imagine it. But that's how I imagine girls now, like, rah. But I'm not that typical kind of girl.
Yeah, I mean, most of the people that I have on the show are not the typical Miami people, because I just don't invite those people on. If you come onto my show, you're definitely not a typical Miami person. I always try to find people who are like doing things and really putting on, So I see that you're killing it with the blog. Do you see yourself going into another avenue with your entertainment, with your providing things to people?
There are times when I have ideas for like skits and stuff like that.
Okay.
And funny videos.
Uh-huh.
I like women in comedy. Like that's funny. Like Tina Fey is like, I love her.
All right.
And I feel like maybe we need more. I don't know. Not that I'm a comedian or anything like that, but I mean, like
comedians. I think comedians are writers.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, writers are comedians. Comedians are writers. Just that comedians are writers of funny shit. Just like, and other writers are like, they write the sad shit también,
Yeah.
So,
but you know how like a lot of like beauty vloggers or beauty bloggers are just so like when they take their selfies they're like super serious and like I
superficial.
Can't. Yeah, I can't bring myself to do that. Like I feel stupid when I do that. Not saying that other people are stupid, but
no, I'm saying that you're stupid.
Yeah. But I can't when I'm doing like I do a really bomb makeup look and I'm trying to like take like a cool picture or a sexy picture or whatever, I can't. Like there's like 40 in the reel before I get to one that I'm like, all right, this is the one I feel the least stupid about posting, but
It's
most
crazy,
of them
man.
I'm like making a face or something.
How do you decide on doing collabs?
If I like them or if I like what they're doing, then I'll do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people have
even
lot
with
of
like products and stuff. Like if I rarely request like payment for something that I would have bought already. You know what I mean? Like if someone says, "Oh, I want you to shout out my jewelry," and they send it to me and I love it. Oh my God, score! I didn't have to buy this.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm gonna shout it out to the ends of the world. You know what I mean?
Do you turn away things that you don't like? Like if people send them to you?
I haven't gotten that yet. Actually, I got one thing. It was a toy for my son, and I didn't like it, and I actually asked them not to send it to me, and they sent it to me anyways. It was this weird toy from like
Japan or something?
Yeah. And
Japanese people always do the weird
yes,
shit.
And it's like this little ball, and it opens like an orange, and in each slice is a different little toy, but the toys are like gross. They're like poop and a toilet with pee in it. Like they're the most disgusting
like
toys ever.
I want those toys.
Yeah, I bet. And I'm like, you know what? If I have it in my house, I'll bring it to you because they're these little like figures, and they're just so gross. And my son's like, "This is gross." I'm like, "Yeah, it is gross. I don't know." It's just like But I didn't say anything. I won't say anything negative about your product. I just won't shout it out.
Oh, okay. So if they send you something,
they send me something I don't like, I'm just not gonna talk about it.
Okay, so you won't be like,
this sucks.
This sucks. No. Don't buy this shit.
No, I never wanna like, squish on someone's hustle,
Yeah.
Someone thought that was a great idea.
I feel
and
you.
there's someone out there who would like to buy it.
Yeah, adults.
Exactly.
You
So
know
I'm
your
not
market,
gonna
bro. Don't send shit to little kids.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Do you plan on having any of your own product lines?
Probably
Has that
not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we've thought about like merch, like t-shirts and stuff like that, but really I can't see myself selling shirts that say Angie Armada on them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like maybe stickers or something like that, but nothing major.
How about a slogan? Your own slogan. I mean, you are going through a rebranding right now, right?
I am.
So maybe like a slogan or
Maybe.
something like that. That could be
Maybe.
co-opted.
I would be doing stuff with small seeds though, like merch with small seeds.
Okay, so everything would be like a certain percentage would go towards small seeds.
Most of
so
it
that's
would
really where
probably
you're
go.
like the vast majority of your energy, like the next project you want to take on is that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you gonna build that out?
Well, right now I'm talking to my accountant, the girl that does my taxes.
Big money baller.
Yeah, and she's gonna help me get all the paperwork taken care of to make it like a legit nonprofit.
Yeah, 501(c)(3).
Yeah, but for right now, I'm literally just spending my own money and any donations that anyone wants to give me, going to Publix, getting food, making it myself, and delivering it myself.
And
we
how do
did
you
that in Wynwood once.
Okay.
Already, where it was after Thanksgiving, which I feel like is always cliche. Everybody always gives food and is feeling very giving during the holidays. But we had a lot of food left over, so I just got some Tupperwares. I made a little plate. I think it was like 8 or 10 bags that we made, and I put fruit and utensils and napkins and water and stuff like that. And we just went down to Wynwood and we just passed them out to people who looked like they needed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we even had one guy turn us away. He was like, "No, I don't want that."
He doesn't want food?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I've done that
But
before.
I like to do that as often as possible.
It's crazy, man. It's like that income inequality in South Florida is so prevalent and is like so in your face. It's not as bad as other cities like San Francisco and shit like that.
Yeah.
San Fran está mal, like really bad.
Boston, they're pretty aggressive.
Boston, Chicago bums are really aggressive.
Yeah?
Like, what?
Yeah.
It's out of hand.
Seattle.
Yeah, it's but
Yeah.
like here in South Florida, you see like, okay, for example, the other day like today, I was driving down the street. I saw probably like 2 Bentleys and like 3 Lamborghinis in the span of, I'll say like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was also going through like downtown and like I see a shitload of homeless people everywhere, you know? It's like a little unspoken secret in South Florida. Nobody likes to talk about the dirty side of South Florida, which is all the homeless people. Not only the homeless people, the people who aren't even homeless, who are like at the level before homelessness. They're just like really struggling to not become homeless.
Those people need help.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am so beyond blessed to have not just shoes, but multiple pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A roof over my head, air conditioning, food in my fridge. Like, that already in itself is more than a lot of people have here in Miami. And I don't have a lot, so I'm trying to get people to help me help other people. You know what I mean? The other day we went to the Wharf.
Okay.
And I couldn't shake the guilt. Like, I almost felt just guilty because as we were getting there, we saw this guy. He was young. He was probably like in his late teens, early 20s. And he had no shoes on. And I just wanted to go find somewhere to get him shoes. And it was like heartbreaking for me.
That street before the Wharf?
Yeah.
It's so
that
crazy.
place is rough.
I don't understand.
There's so
It's
many
like,
people there.
I feel like that is like a gauntlet that you have to run before getting to the Wharf.
Before getting to the Wharf, yeah.
You gotta run the homeless gauntlet.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? It's like all these homeless people are attacking you for bread, and then you're like, I don't got any money, but you're walking to a place that you're gonna go spend $16 a drink or whatever the fuck.
Because it's expensive in there, yeah.
That is so.
So I can't help,
oh my God.
even though it was like, it was every time I've gone to the Wharf, by the way, shouts out to Jackie for always treating us. She does their social media.
Yeah.
And I've always gone to like influencer events, but getting to there is just heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it's heartbreaking.
It's South Florida. It's the way that, the way, that's basically the epitome of South Florida right there.
Yeah.
Like you have all this money and wealth, like right there on the Wharf.
Yeah.
But then like right across the street, there's nothing but like mad bums.
There's literally like 20 on one block.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they all seen like all these Bentleys pull up.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Seeing everybody laughing and having fun and going back to their car to go back to their house.
And then everybody just like walking over them
Walks
while
past
they go
them
home,
like they don't exist.
drunk as shit, like they don't exist.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
can you
go about their
imagine
life.
like some not getting spoken to or addressed for days?
That's so crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, I heard a podcast once about a guy who was like, I don't want to say normal because I'm sure homeless people aren't normal, but He used to work at a bank, whatever. He fell in some hard times. He ended up being homeless, and he thought to himself, it'll just be for a day or two. And it ended up being for a few years that he was homeless. And that one day he woke up because someone peed on him.
What?
Coming out of a bar drunk, peed on him, and he growled because he hadn't used words to form a sentence to speak to anyone in so long that he felt animalistic at that point.
Wow.
And it just like, I can't wrap my head around that. You know what I mean? Like, when I talk to people, like, I know when I talk to people, like homeless people, I want to know, like, I want to say, hi, what's your name? Like,
it's so crazy.
Sit down and talk to them.
That's a big problem, but nobody's addressing it.
No.
Like, the county isn't addressing it. City isn't addressing it. So I guess you're going to take the torch on.
I'm going to do what I can.
That's
you know,
up.
like, I mean,
it's so noble.
If nobody else is going to do it, like, you know, there's another group that I have been talking to called Neighborhood Heroes.
Okay.
He does a lot of outreach with the homeless and feeding the homeless. He works with #lunchbag. His name is Alejandro, right?
Yeah.
His name is Alejandro, and he also carries that torch. And I want to help in any way that I can. And so if I can use my platform, my 10,000 something followers, to speak about it, then I will.
Damn, that's what's up, man. I congratulate you on that, because a lot of people will just like not even worry with themselves with that. You know,
I go to bed and I think about homeless people.
For reals?
Yeah. There's a guy that lives in the Burger King Plaza right next to our house.
Wow.
And just today I was looking for him because, you know, when it rains, when it's hot, I think of them. I think of him. He has a little dog.
What?
And he has like this shopping cart and it's full of stuff, and he has like umbrellas. He has like 3 or 4 umbrellas, and he'll like barricade himself in the umbrellas. And it just breaks my heart. That's somebody's uncle, that's somebody's dad, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's son. You know what I mean? That's a person. He had a life. He probably didn't grow up born and raised on the streets.
That being said, like, what made you want to speak about mental health, you know? Because that's not an easy topic to speak on.
No, it's not. And after I had my son, I want to say about when I first had my son, I felt like I had to do everything. I'm talking, I had to feed him, I had to bathe him, I had to do everything for him. And I never asked anyone for help. I didn't want to ask anyone for help. And luckily, thank God, my mom was there for the first month. Because when I was falling asleep in the chair with him, she was there to make sure he didn't fall out of my lap. You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe I started to feel things and feel differently. I wasn't my normal sassy, cheery self anymore. And I went through like a depression. And when I finally went to the doctor about it because I was out of control, she was like, you recently had a baby? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, it's probably like not early onset, but like later, like postpartum depression and anxiety. And talking about it sometimes with family members, and especially like in our culture, they were like, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. You're fine. Stop being your boba. Stop being a crybaby. You know what I mean? And it's not. It's not like that at all. It's not like I want to cry over something silly. You know what I mean? It's not like my pencil falling is the end of the world. But for some reason or another, I want to bawl my eyes out. And why? There's a chemical imbalance in my brain now because of childbirth. You know what I mean? Like, a woman's body goes through something radical when they have babies. I feel like Superwoman.
Do you feel that you have some kind of kinship with people who are going through mental health on the streets, and that's why you really want to help them out? For sure.
I mean, I cannot imagine not having help. You know what I mean? Like, if I couldn't go to the doctor, and I'm all about, if you have crooked teeth, you're going to get braces. Yeah. If you have something wrong with your nose, you want to get it fixed, you can do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for help and taking medication if you need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it made me a better mom. It made me a better wife. It made me a better human because now I can control myself. Do you feel it's getting better in Miami, people, being able to talk about this? I don't know. I don't know if it's getting better in Miami. Especially
that sounds pretty bad.
Especially here, it's true because of our culture. We're all
Everybody's
some
always
sort
like
of
ragging on
Hispanic.
somebody.
Yeah, some sort of Hispanic, or, you know, and they just say, oh, esa ta loquita, you know, like she's just crazy, or, you know, she's got a screw loose. No, she's got a freaking imbalance. And imagine if I didn't have a doctor and I couldn't get those prescriptions, I probably would be, there were times I just wanted to be in bed.
Yeah,
all day
nonstop.
for days. And how can I do that? I have a kid. I can't do that. You know what I mean? And so those issues would come out in other ways. And I wasn't as positive and as like my normal self. So,
Well, thank you for talking to us. Thank you for letting us know what's popping off in your world, how it is that you came to be, how it is that your journey has brought you to where you're at right now. Damn.
Thanks
That's
for
crazy.
having me.
Is there anything else that you would like to add? Anything that you're working on that you want to let the people know?
I just posted
Besides
the
the
first
seeds?
picture on Small Seeds.
Okay.
On Instagram, it's Small Seeds Grow Big Trees.
Okay. All one word?
Yeah, all one word. And you can see me at Angie.Armada.
Okay.
We just bought the domain, smallseeds.com. Smallseedsgrowbigtrees.com.
Okay.
And that's about it, really.
When do you think your launch for Small Seeds is going to be? Do you have a projected launch?
Well, hopefully by, the end of April, we'll be able to start working on our first,
donations?
Yeah, I would like to donate. I would like to get a group together. I know Martha of Miami said that she is totally in on this project with me, and we're just going to get some stuff together and go out and hit the street, foot to the ground. And just go meet people, talk to people, and hand out some stuff.
That's what's up. You got my support whenever you need
great.
any videographer or anything like that.
Yeah,
I got
that'd be
you.
awesome.
We'll go out there, shoot you, helping out the city, and hopefully it catches on. Even though I don't know how.
I know. It's
that's
rough.
so fucked up, bro.
It's rough. Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I want this to catch on, but I know Miami people are dickheads.
It's
and
true.
They don't give a flying fuck about
It's
nothing.
true. It's hard.
So it's like, come on, care about something.
You know
people.
where I'm hitting first, though?
Yes.
The mom bloggers. They're
okay.
moms.
Yeah.
Gotta hit them in the sweet spot.
Yeah, they gotta.
That's somebody's kid. Come on, fork it over. You guys live in Palmetto Bay.
Yeah, but those moms también, they're like,
conmigo.
but I gotta take care of my mom, my kid first.
You can
I
afford
gotta pay his way into Harvard.
You can afford a box of cereal.
I gotta buy his $450,000 way into Harvard
real,
and
right?
Stanford and shit. I can't help out the homeless right now.
Aunt Becky. Aunt Becky's going to jail.
For real. Aunt Becky going to jail.
Have mercy.
Dale, pues, if people want to reach out to you, what's the easiest way for them to get in contact with you?
They can DM me on Instagram.
All right.
Angie.Armada.
All right. Thank you so much, Angie, for talking to us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming through. Until next time, people, you know what it is. Akeola Podcast, Akeola Podcast on IG. We're on iTunes, Google Play, wherever you find our podcast. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's growing every week steadily. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Peace. All right. You already heard that episode. You already heard where to get in contact with Angie Armada. Angie.Armada, Sweet Serena, smallseedsgrowbigtrees.com. If you would like to get in contact with Angie in regards to the charity and whatnot here in South Florida, I'm going to be out there representing, putting on for my people, putting on for South Florida, trying to create and coalesce some of the beauty. All right? Forget all that negativity. Hasta la próxima. I appreciate every single one of you. It's the Keola Podcast. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Share, subscribe. If you love it, share with your friends. If you hate it, share with your enemies. Just share this motherfucker. I love you. It's your boy D. Peace.